Hey Apprentice Squad, what's up? Welcome to another live stream. Sorry we're starting a little bit later than we usually do. Just trying to get everything set up. Welcome to another stream day here with the stream team. You guys rock. Super excited to have you here. I'm excited to get some more progress on the Ultimate Crafting Gauntlet with you guys. I just placed an order for some pieces for this to help finish this up, and once we get it into foam and stuff like that, some things I realized we need. We got our main base pattern here. We're going to build on this, add some of the other elements that we were wanting to do, and yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet. So let's, with that, let's jump on, see who we got, and we'll jump in and get going. So we have Yonalith, what's up? Faker Maker Props, Leia, Paulino, what's up? Cool. Alright. Awesome. Got a good group on here already. Let's jump in and we'll get cracking on this. So I've got my little bin out for my crafting gauntlet. It's got all kind of the elements in here. If you guys remember, I'm going to take off my watch here. Last time we were working on this, we made our little shell here. Got some decent progress on it, so this is kind of what we were playing with and looking at, right? So now what we're wanting to do is we need to add on the second layer. So this is kind of just like the under layer, but we wanted to have like a flap that flipped open that would have the notebook on the inside there, so that when we flipped it open we could, you know, take notes just like that. But then when it's that flap is closed, it's got all of our pens, pencils, markers, all that stuff on it. So what I just got was a cool little latch that will attach on the side here for that flap to kind of just be able to like easily unlatch it and open that up. And yeah, so what we need to do now is plan out kind of that second layer of what that's going to look like. Now, if you remember, I wrote here on the side, make this longer. So we're going to have this extend a little bit, and this part will overlap over the top. And then, and actually, you know what? I think we might go the other way. This will go longer and overlap over the top here, just because of the way. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But essentially, we need this to be able to attach on its own so that it stays on when this is open, so that this latch isn't what's holding it together. But that we have kind of a second layer on here. Oh yes, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this will probably go underneath and this will go over the top. Because then we have this here, and then we'll probably have the other straps come up on either side of where this will sit. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, cool. So essentially what we need to do is throw some tape back on this again. So I'm going to prep some tape before I get too into this. How are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good week? What? Yonalith! Thank you! Oh my goodness. It hasn't yet. It's next week. But yeah, wow, thank you. Oh my goodness. I'll throw that up on the screen here. Thank you. That's so kind of you. So generous. Yes? You want to come in? Okay, just a second. Got one of the little ones wanting to come in. Just a second. Hi, Buckaroo. What are you up to? I love you, big guy. You just want to say hi? Yeah? Hey, look, right over here is the camera. Or is what people are seeing. But the camera's over there. Do you want to go over and say hi? Okay. Say hi to everybody right there. Say hi. You're like whispering. Can you say it loud enough for them to hear? Say hi. Say hi, everybody. They can't hear you if you just whisper it. You silly guy. Do you want to go play with your brothers? Do you see what we're working on here? We're making this gauntlet. My hand will fit in here like this. Isn't that cool? What do you think? Is that cool? No? Oh, I love you, bud. Okay, let's have you go out and play with your brothers now, okay?
No, I was inside. No one out there.
They're not out there? Are they upstairs? Okay, go on upstairs. Okay, sorry guys. Okay. Where were we? Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's see. Wednesday. Okay. Alrighty. Let's jump in. Sorry about that. To take him out to help have him finish getting dressed, and then I told him he could come in and hang out. But he did not want to leave. Oh, look, cutie. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tape this seam back together just a little bit, just to kind of, with some temporary little, I think, tape stitches, just to have this be attached more so I can add another layer on, if that makes sense. Hope everyone's doing well. Did you guys have a good week? Okay, so just a couple little stitch tape pieces there just to kind of hold that together so we can do a second layer on here. Now what I'm imagining is I'm going to have this piece kind of like attached on the side here to this bottom layer. And then it'll have flaps that come down this way and a flap that comes up this way to kind of wrap around. So what we're going to do is maybe we'll run a piece of double-sided sticky, as I like to refer to it, magic tape. But I'm going to roll it long ways here. So let me make it so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Again, Yona, thank you so much for your donation. That's so awesome. There we go. Now you guys can see a little bit better what's happening here. Okay. So I'm just going to run this sticky tape thing along the outside right here. Okay. And then we'll stick some tin foil and tape. So we're going to have kind of a flap up here on the top, and then that's going to transition to just straps that run the rest of the length, because we'll then use those straps as well to loop through the Assassin's Creed blade thing that's going to go on the bottom. That's how we'll attach it. So, and then the straps will continue up and attach here and here underneath this flap. Does that make sense? So, get some tin foil here. My tape sticking to it. So we'll actually flip that up. Cut this up underneath. Kind of wrap it around tight. Alright, now I've got the dog scratched on the door. Just a second. Okay. Extend that out. There. So that goes in nice and far. Now we're gonna stick this down in here. And what we're gonna kind of do a little bit different than normally. I'm gonna tape this down first rather than just kind of taping all the tin foil, because we want to kind of create this little flap, right? Now, once we get it taped up, we're going to draw on here. We're going to cut it down. But for now, I'm making it larger than what I want it, or what I need it to be in the end, so that we can draw on it and add to it, right? Or draw on it and just take away from it what we need. But that way, at least it covers everything off the bat. Okay, some more tape. So I know this kind of just like looks crazy right now, and you're like, what in the world is going on? What is he even doing? How is this going to become a gauntlet? But I promise, in the end, this will all look really cool and amazing. Sometimes it's a little hard to see in the tin and tape stage what a finished product might look like on it. I do want to kind of peel this back just a little bit so I know where that edge is that we drew of where that base is going to go. So I'm kind of just folding back the tinfoil and tape a little bit so I can see that edge. We don't want to go past that with what we create here. Let's see, do you have snap fasteners? No, I don't, but I'm gonna use a latch. Hey, Much Props, what's up? Yonolith is guessing that your exciting stuff is a musical that you're doing. Hey, Furman DeLonc. Hello, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Yonolith says she'll be getting her second vaccine shot on Wednesday. Yay, that's awesome. We just got our first ones this week, so we're pretty excited. We have to wait like, 20-something days, I think, or something, then we can get our second one. But yeah, congrats, that's awesome. Hopefully everyone's gonna be able to get those soon. No apron? I have it right here. I forgot to throw it on before I started. I just kind of jumped in. That's true. It does feel kind of weird to not have it on. Oh, not that. I want to peel that back. Just that there. So once again, now I'm just on the same idea as what I did over there. I'm just peeling this back to the edge that I drew, just so so I know where that edge is and we're not going way over that. Okay. So I'll do a long little piece of tape here. Right along this edge. Press that all down. Okay, cool. So now we have kind of like our under section there. Now we can kind of press into place this flap that's going to go over the top. I'm going to start right here where I just kind of line that up, take that down. Okay. And then if you guys notice, doing this one-handed and trying to get this tape out, I actually just figured out a nifty trick, because if you saw before, I kept like getting it all, once I'd rip it, they'd all kind of fall together and stuff. So what I'm actually doing right now is that when I pull out the length that I want, I'm actually tacking a little edge down right there, then ripping it, then that way that stays down, and then I can pick it up kind of all in one piece. Just kind of goes to show you, like, so many things you'll just learn just from doing and just getting in and starting and figuring it out, you know, as you go. So don't be too nervous, just get started. I didn't use the technique there and it all rolled up on itself. Now I'm hoping that when I do this out of the foam, it'll be a lot less pokey compared to this tinfoil, because it's not the most comfortable to wear right now, but hopefully that will change. Okay. Couple spots of tinfoil left here that we'll want to cover up. And then right along here. Okay. Cool, there we go. Alright, so we got our second layer here. Let's see. Hey George, what's up? Let's see, what was the question? So yeah, it's different than the chainmail, it's scale mail, so it looks kind of like dragon scales in a chainmail form kind of thing. First full cosplay, do you have any tips on getting a flexible white paint that sticks to Plastidip? Yeah, so PlatFX paint stays flexible. They have some good white colors. You may, it does stick to Plastidip. You just need to be careful when you're doing second layers. and painting on top of that, or doing your weathering, that sometimes it can cause the Platifex to release from the Plastidip when it gets kind of gets more paint on it, kind of thing. So you might want to try to seal it between doing something like that. But yeah, Platifex paint's great. Flexible paint that works awesome. Cool, cool. Alright. Okay, so basically not too much to do here. We're going to just have this flap that comes over, and we want it to run the full length of the thing so that we can run our pens and pencils and stuff all the way down it. So basically right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw where we want that flap to come to, and I'm thinking I'll probably have it latch right here on the side. And make this side longer. That would be ideal. Okay. So if we make that longer, and this comes down and overlaps right here, that will work. So I'm going to just basically draw my line across where we had it before. Grab this and my pencil. I'm going to first draw the line in pencil. I'm basically just following that same seam that I did earlier, because that seam line is going to just change slightly as we extend one of those pieces, one of those edges. So we're going to just mark that same seam line that we kind of did just along the side of the arm, because that seems to sit in a pretty good place to have that latch but not really be in the way of me like setting my arm down on the latch and putting pressure there. So now remember we had that second layer underneath. So drawing my registration marks right here, we just need to make sure that see, are you guys seeing all this okay? I can switch to this camera angle, but it's just a little bit, it might be a little far away or at the in the wrong spot now because I moved my desk forward a little bit more. There we go. If that's more helpful for you guys to kind of see what I'm doing. So I just did the registration marks along here. And now what I'm going to do, I don't think there's anything, I mean, maybe what I want to do, just so I know kind of where it is I'm going to mark kind of the top of my arm here, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to, with the pencil, just run along kind of where the top of my arm is, for where we know, so that way we kind of have a reference as to where to put those pens, if that makes sense, right? That's kind of the area that we want to put those, because once we get it off my arm it might be a little bit harder to tell, and so I'm just kind of marking right along that little strip there so we know where those should be kind of centered along, right? So that we can put them right in along there. Okay, so we got that marked, we got some registration marks made there. Here in a second I'll mark kind of where that stitching line is, of where we're going to attach it. Basically it's just going to be along the side, probably directly across from this one. So if I'm sitting here like this, and we'll verify that that's where we want it here in a second, but first I'm going to cut into this on just this first layer. So I'm just kind of cutting along the surface here. Oh, hold on, we don't have any tape going across that section. So this is going a little bit beyond where I took my tinfoil to. So I'm just making sure that there's tape coverage that runs along some of those sections to the edge that we're doing here. So I'm going to remark that line and the registration marks that were there. There we go. Start from this side where I had more tinfoil, be easier. Shoot, cut all the way through. Didn't mean to do that. This one's more just to give us a reference as to where that flap is going to overlap when we go to put it together. There we go. And then I'm just going to run a piece of tape right there in the couple spots where I cut it and didn't want to. Slash mean to. And I can still see the marker underneath, so I can just retrace that for our references. so then we've got this little flap that pops up, right? We're going to try our notebook in there. Make sure it's going to be covered when this flap is closed. Aha. Cool, cool. Alright. So basically, when we open this up, that's kind of what we want. So I feel like we can actually bring that stitch line up a little bit. I'm going to mark kind of roughly where this is going to go, or at least I'm going to try to mark roughly where that's going to go. I'll try to give about even space centered on this on either side. Let's see. Obsbot tiny AI cams. They can track you on the screen and have hand gestures for controlling too. Whoa. Sweet, that sounds cool. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to check that out. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I was wondering, Thomas, how that little airbrush thing worked.
Someone's at front door.
Worked out for you, because I've been curious on using those, on if they actually work and everything. That's good to know. Worked pretty well then? Sweet. Cool, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I'll have to check out Obsbot tiny AI cams. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look for that. You said it's on Amazon? Okay. So, here we go. We place this right here. Where we want it. And with that right there, I'm just going to kind of mark along it here. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting this flap seam right along the back edge of where this notepad's going to go. So that we can maybe even like just integrate like a little elastic that you can slide the notebooks in and out to make them replaceable really easy. And then also so that when you open it up, it actually opens up the notebook for you maybe to like the page that you're on or something. Okay, here we go. Here comes some tricky maneuvering here. I'm going to try to hold this down with my head while I draw on it. Here we go. There we go. I just needed that little corner edge. Now, hold this down right here. My hands readjust. Make sure I'm laying it up on the back side. And then okay. Okay, I think I actually traced that relatively well. That is kind of basically our line. Oh, not too bad. Okay, sweet. So then I think just behind, we're actually already kind of there, but I'm just going to fold this flap over to kind of determine where that that latch is going to go, or that kind of where we attach this down, this flap. That should give us some pretty good position on it. And now on this back side, I'm just gonna put like kind of a dashed line. This is gonna be where this gets stitched or glued down. On that side. Cool. Sweet. Okay, cool. And then, as far as on this piece, before I get into the marker, so if you guys remember, this is actually our second layer, right, that we did. And I actually want to have the straps come up maybe like about 1-inch straps is what I'm thinking. And have them come all the way, you know, maybe we give like you know what I'm thinking of doing? Oh wait, no, because that's where we have to remember that this bottom part is where the whole little assembly is going for the thing, the Assassin's Creed blade. So, so yeah, I actually basically just need to carry the strap around. Now the other thing is I can do it so it doesn't go clear up under here, but only up to here because we'll have enough of an overlap. I might do that, so I'm going to scratch whatever I just drew there, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit more because I think we're going to need some room for the blade to continue after where the attachments are for our straps. So I'm going to bring that just more up a little bit further. Now a lot of this might change as we try to figure out that dual action component kind of thing. But I think for now, guys, because mostly it's just my head in the way right now. There we go. I think we have kind of basically to about there before. Okay, and then if that's the case, here's the end here. I'm going to put the strap right about here. Okay, that should give me pretty good reference. I'm going to draw these in. Okay. You know, something like this. Now these straps can either be, we can either do these straps just out of what the foam, or we can do it out of a nylon webbing, or a leather, whatever we want, but it'll be something like that. Okay, so that was the 1 hour alarm going off there. But since we started just a little bit late, let's go for just like another 10 minutes here real quick. Okay. So, basically out of this, I marked where this was going to go under this flap, but now I'm realizing that, you know, this second layer is not going completely over all of this, so this actually will all be cut out, but hopefully we can, once I get this off, we can actually, you know, cut out and like mark on the underlayer where that went. So I'm gonna just give myself a couple registration marks and lines as to where, you know, things were. And if we need to line this up to here at all. We've got a couple registration marks there. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut myself out of this again, and I'm going to do it right here this time, because I want to cut out those straps. Okay, are you guys following along on this? Is this making sense, or am I just like have this idea in my head and no one else is following what I'm thinking of here? Here, so here real quick, we can just kind of cut this out. And trace this onto our lower piece so we kind of know where the notebook's going to go before we get too much further. notebook was going to go. Then we can flip these out of the way, bring this down, and just trace over that. Or around that, I mean. Perfect. So now that's transferred. Okay. So then we can just remove our little tape stitch pieces. Take this off. Actually, a bit of drawing on part of this piece of tape, so we'll flip it there, rip that off. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm like sweating from the tinfoil. Holy cow. My arm's soaked. Okay. Here we go. Let me catch up in the chat real quick. Alright. Hey, see you, Thomas. Probably already missed you, but thanks for tuning in, man. April says it's like playing Twister when you're attempting to pattern yourself. Yeah, basically, right? You can see I'm like, alright, yeah. Left arm, twist and reach up. Yeah, I'm thinking of using magnets for the straps. I want it to be something quick to be able to throw this on quickly. I'm going to use a latch for the flip up thing. But then, yeah, I was thinking either snaps or magnets or something like that for the straps. Partially, we'll need to figure out how to make kind of like a magnet system that's like functional for anybody to, so that anybody can kind of recreate it and be able to use. Okay, so here's our second layer piece. We'll cut that out in a second here, and then we can just kind of rip off this stuff here, because we've got marked where that notebook's going to go. Now I'm curious if we're using this from the other side. That notebook is not too far off of the phone size. So we should be able to kind of use that to get a good idea of where we want to put the phone to. And good thing we're doing the straps attaching down here below this, because of the fact that when we do the phone, it's a little bit taller, and so we wouldn't be able to leverage that same strapping system if I was putting it on the other side, on each side of it, like I was doing with the thing there. So that'll be good there. And for this, we can cut off basically all of this. We just need the straps to run underneath that. So what I think we'll do is we'll give kind of like a little section here, a little, maybe a ½ inch to an inch worth of material here that can just be glued down or stitched down again, just to really help reinforce that seam, and give something, if we do straps that aren't just like the foam, or we do foam and glue it on top, that way the straps can have something to stick to as well. And then here underneath is where we'll have our Assassin's Blade attachment. These will run in and out and through. We may need to make these straps longer depending, but at least we kind of get an idea of where they'd attach. On here, and what we'd be looking at for a length here. And you know what? I think I might even actually take this out just a little bit further to there instead and see. So if you ever, let me switch camera angles again for you guys. If you're ever draw a line in permanent marker in your patterning that you didn't want, just simply take some tape, cover it up. It's like an eraser. Okay, cool. That way we have plenty of room to attach our straps. We could even, if we wanted to get really fancy, we could even run the straps on the inside here and then do something with them. But I mean, we might could tuck them in here and then glue them on the inside right there just to help sturdy that up a bit. But okay, with that being said, I'm going to cut this out. Might get bigger scissors. See ya, Yonaleth. Have a good one. Thank you again for your donation. So awesome, so generous. Cedric, you don't need to go out right now. Okay, so I think this will complete our pattern for being able to start transferring onto foam, so that's exciting. Along here and along here. This all kind of just went right along the line. We did do this mark on the flap to kind of show where we would want to be placing the pens. So I'm just going to kind of put a dash, some dash lines on there, as that pencil's kind of not showing up super well. Sorry, bud. Okay. There's that. We can get rid of this double-sided sticky on the back here. Okay. Cool. So let's just narrow it down to just the pieces we need here. This is all garbage. And then these are our actual pattern pieces. So this will be pretty cool. So I think we can just cut this out. we've got our marking where our straps will go, or where, yeah, right across there. And then, hold on, I'm going to transfer these lines that I did down to here just so that we know where those kind of like registration marks for the top layer went. Finish cutting that out. An extra layer of tinfoil here too that we don't need. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just gonna draw along this in a little bit darker outline. Okay, cool. There's that. There. And this piece here. Okay. Wait, you have a con tomorrow? Leia? That's crazy, that's exciting. Okay. Now, when I had that around my arm, so yeah, so this currently lines up with that. These straps come around and attach on this under layer. So that makes more sense. Okay, cool. So that's drawn right. I was just checking to make sure whether I wrote like make this side longer, that was going to be what we wanted it to be. But yeah, now we got some pretty good little pattern here. So cool. Well, what do you guys think? You guys excited to see this come together? So what I think we'll do is we'll do a video first on just creating this, just so I don't get hung up with trying to get it like doing too much to begin with. We'll do it kind of in pieces, in parts. So we'll create just this out of the foam, planning on having that bottom piece, and then we can do another one on like designing and creating that piece to go on the bottom that does our whole little sharpening thing, so that can just get this done and not be waiting on that and trying to figure out some of the logistics for that and everything like that. Do it kind of in a two-part thing. So creating the crafting gauntlet, that would have, you know, the tape measure, the book, the pen, pencil slot things, the flap and all that stuff, and then do a second one where we say, okay, hey, now let's add the cool dual action thing to it. So, yeah, there we go. I think I'm glad that we put these markings on there, because I would totally just, when I go to do this, I would probably just like line this up straight, but actually it needs to sit at an angle there, so that's why we drew these lines. Oh, sit like at an angle like that. So we knew where that had to attach with the straps to match the hand. And now for the left hand, it's going to be reversed, because our hands kind of have, if you look at like our knuckle lines when we're straight, has kind of like this angle to it, right? So, cool. Well, that's going to be great, guys. I'm excited about it. I think with that, that'll finish up our time here. Hey, Target the Arts, what's up? But yeah, we got the pattern for it, so that's pretty exciting. I need to order probably some, figure out how we want these to go down and get those ordered, and then we can start assembling all this and whatnot. So I probably should digitize this too for you guys, so that you guys can make it as well. What I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of making this out of what the foam, just because it'd be strong enough too, and it'd be less than leather, cost-wise, and whatnot. So then I'm thinking of just like making the pattern available for free to everybody, so just everyone can make it, and then, you know, I would just hope that you guys would make it out of what the foam, or share pictures and stuff with me and tell me what you thought of it or whatnot, or how it worked out for you. Just so I can see everybody making this cool gauntlet, because I think that'd be so sweet to just have tons of crafters like being hardcore with this ultimate crafting gauntlet kind of thing. So if I create the 3D files for like 3D printing that hidden blade style thing too, or whatever, would make that available probably for free as well, so that people can just spend their money on like getting it printed if they don't have a 3D printer themselves or whatnot. So anyway, just want everyone to have this cool gauntlet. So this is made for the left hand. What we'll do is we'll reverse that, and then we'll adjust it slightly to fit like the foam in there. Probably instead of like this being a flip up strap, we might still have it come over, but maybe it's more just to hold the phone in, and we'd have like a cutout or something like that to be able to see your phone screen, so you can stick your phone in there. Something, we'll see, but we'll have to figure out how to do it for your non-dominant hand, and figure that out. The nice thing is, I think with this pattern, you can just reverse it based on if you're left-handed or right-handed, and be able to create the pair of crafting gauntlets on your own. So anyway, there we go, guys. That should be it for today. Hey, Sammy, what's up? Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend, and a great week next week until I see you guys again on Friday next week. So thanks for your guys' comments as well, ideas for the panels and things like that. I loved it. Super awesome. And I'm definitely going to take those into consideration and create some panels based on your guys' ideas, and get those submitted. So if you're going to Salt Lake Comic-Con, FanX in Salt Lake City in September, hopefully I can get your guys' panel ideas in and they'll accept them. So, and then you guys can come to the panel that you guys suggested. So, alright, hope you guys have a good one. Have a great weekend, and cosplay on, my friends. See ya. Bye.